we spun out my first startup called Ambit, and Ambit was in the space of voice technology, using voice to understand how humans communicate with each other and how teams talk with each other, and using technology to give them insights into their communication, giving them insights into how they can be better in communicating, presenting, talking to their teammates, building a good team. That's kind of what we did in our startup. And this was called Ambit. And we launched sometime in 2017, raised a bit of venture capital, and we went on to the market. I know that there is several companies who are still like kind of taking a crack at this. None of them have quite done it quite well. It's a hard problem of changing human behavior. It's trying to make people be better versions of themselves. Which is a really hard problem. And we realized that in the time that we had, and this was pre-Zoom era, pre-COVID era. So we were trying to put like microphones in people's like conference rooms. And it was a really hard thing for us to like take to market. And we ended up winding down the company sometime right before the pandemic hit. Took a bit of a break, spent almost like 6 to 8 months in starting what I called as Arva Labs. Arva is the name of my daughter. And like I just created a labs company and like just spent like going wide, trying 15, 20 different projects, everything from like some as silly as like drawing like sketches on iPad and then putting that on the web, to like creating like Chrome plugins and like small projects, to like big ideas, to everything across the domain. And then slowly like figured out there were a couple of different segments that like drew my attention. Spent like nearly like 6 months on like exploring one project that was along children education, social emotional learning, and I spent quite a bit of time on that space. And then there was another project that was around still around the idea of like how people come together in the virtual world now that like everything was going virtual. Everything from like board games to board meetings were happening online, and so we were still using Zoom for everything. Even now we use it for almost as like a tool for everything that we want when we are communicating online. And I felt like different experiences require different interfaces, and they would make that experience like elevate. And that kind of was like the genesis of Zync. And since then, like we've been using the platform for like adding value to many different use cases, from like how do you run like company-wide meetings, to like team building meetings, to like you're running your webinars or launching your own shows. And like we've tried like few different iterations of this and kind of going on in that journey right now.
No, this is awesome. And if I were to really summarize this, your journey from Microsoft to Foursquare to Stanford Research Institute to becoming an entrepreneur in residence to Ambit to Zync, and a small break between Ambit and Zync.